does the theme music sound like?
Not good.
That's a question for you, audience. What does the theme tune sound like? Ali can't remember, but she hasn't listened to the podcast, really. I have, but it's pretty good. It's very bombastic. The second half really goes off, and it's in threes because this is Crudely Drawn Sword Trilogy, to which you're welcome. Yeah, Stu has to do our horn manually because he's been forbidden from using it on the stream. Ali hasn't.
I'm just demonstrating. It's really important the audience know what's happening.
I'm your host and GM, Ben Moxon. With me, singing Chappelle Roan, we have Stu.
Whoa!
Sounding the air horns, we have Ali. And showing off the forehead, we have Gwyn.
Forehead for foresight.
Very shiny today.
You're gleaming. Shiny. That's what it is. You're gleaming with your haircut.
I was going to say, the haircut does look kind of cool, to be fair. It does look good.
Yeah, I had a haircut. That's a different story.
I had a haircut. I just got rid of them. No, ladies, this is not the place for you.
Wow. All right, Andrew Tate.
I know you're a lorry driver.
I was going to say.
I had
this episode.
I had a haircut. I think when we started this campaign, and I may have another one at some point during it. Time will tell.
Whoa.
I had one last year or the year before, but I can't remember which.
I don't know what year it. No one knows what year it is anymore. How could we?
I know. I mean, yeah.
I was wearing headphones. I tricked you all.
No way!
They're so uncomfortable. Oh, let's hide the balding spot. So uncomfortable.
Well, that's what you get. I don't know. I don't know quite where I'm getting at here. So, to recall where we were, what happened last time on Crudely Drawn Swords?
Oh, yeah, I remember. We're about to have a big ass fight potentially.
So
that's all they need to know. Jump into the action. Go.
I think the audience need more details.
When last we saw our heroes, they had just made their way through the labyrinth of crystals. A mysterious labyrinth in which there were several rooms where they had to confront perilous beasts, solve puzzles, and retrieve crystals, which were then used to get into a crystal dome of some kind, in which they had to seize treasures. But as soon as they entered the dome, the treasures started multiplying themselves, so it wasn't easy to tell which were the right ones.
Yeah, not for you.
I have seldom been more disillusioned in my life than when I discovered that when they did the picking up bit of the crystal maze in the crystal dome, like, they didn't do it when all the notes were blowing around. They just picked them up off the floor. And
what?
Yeah, they weren't trying to catch them out of the air. And the only reason it was difficult was because the lighting was such you couldn't tell what colour they were.
Why didn't they do it with the blowers on?
Apparently they just didn't. This came, and then they they filmed the blower version afterwards. This was
why wouldn't you just do the thing that you?
Yeah,
filming? I think that's because weird. People got Dickle actual things out of it because it was really, really hard to grab them with the blowers on. So it would have been like, you got 6 gold tokens and 15 silver ones.
That's fine though. Just make the threshold to win the prize 6.
Or make the tokens heavier. So like, straight in your face.
It's like you're in a cloud of shuriken.
It's like make them out of marshmallow or something.
Wow, this is really going in hard on this.
A lot better than Crystal Maze.
On this 1990s game show that
it's been rerun. What's his face is on it?
Yeah,
Rich Diowardi.
Yeah,
yes.
But
Rich Diowardi, you'll know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in in the role of Thingy Bob. His
Richard
name,
O'Brien.
Richard O'Brien, yeah. Yes, because you were, of course, led round
Who's
your
another
part by a goblin named Gritchard.
Oh yeah, nothing.
In-
We don't know what happened to
Richard
that poor little guy.
O'Brien was one of the other goblins. No one knows what happened to him, except everyone saw the film of Brad pulling him into the water full of electric eels, where he immediately died and then sank to the bottom. And O'Brien broadcast this on the Crystal Dome, so no one could have any illusions about what happened.
Everybody who knows what happened to him.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of things signed when we first went in, so I assume they have the same for, Gritchard and his buddies.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, they had to. So that happened. You managed to seize, I believe, the sword and the halo.
And was there like a lute?
Maybe the flute. I think you might have got the flute.
Yeah.
And as you escaped the dome with your wares, Stu rolled 1 on 2d6.
That was...
Which was truly impressive.
And yet not surprising.
And the sword he was carrying, the pyre blade, flared. And you were suddenly on an open plain of green grass with rolling hills in the distance in one direction and a forest in another, with pale riders approaching. And so I think at this point I'm going to create a scene.
They have spoken to us as well.
Yeah, so hang on. I cannot create a scene, which isn't great. Yeah, no, I can't.
So I found a video of the crystal maze. It looks like they're picking them up from the floor, even though there's some flying around in the sky.
Yeah, so it's possible. It's possible that was always what was going on.
Yeah, but there's still some being blown. Some are getting them from the sky, some are getting them from the floor.
So the scene is on this wide green plain. Riders have approached. They are very pale-faced, but they appear to wear spiny chitinous armour. And when I say pale-faced, it's like their skin is literally almost like a kind of milky white, as if they don't have blood in them at all. Their complexions are waxy. And the creatures they ride are a little somewhere between deer and assassin bugs. They're sort of slightly mammalian, slightly insectoid. They're like nothing you've seen in your lives to this point. And they approach and they come to a stop. The lead rider jumps from their steed and approaches you with a kind of slightly jerky motion and says, "Yield the blade to us, Herald of Worlds." What do you do, Brad?
Brad Muscles came at there and he held the sword and went, "Come and take it." Yeah. Gave him a fierce old man smile. Come and take it.
The rider stares at you and says, "We will if we must. But would you not know of it before you lay down your life to protect it?"
It's all the same to me, mate. I'm Australian again. You want this blade? You're going to have to take it from my cold, dead hands.
The person in front of you.
There'll be no plot given here. And I'm going to strike him down, making him more powerful than I could possibly imagine.
All right. Well, that sounds like you're going to be engaging an opponent with force. So this is going to be strength. You do have an action point to spend here because I created the scene. What do you do?
I'll save it.
Okay, well, let's see what happens. $13.
Fucking hell.
So, on a 13, you can deal your harm or achieve another simple goal. So,
what are the options for the other simple goal?
So the example is like sweeping their leg, knocking something out of their hand, something that you could achieve in a little short bout of combat, basically.
Kiss him.
I think what I want to do is swing the blade and stop it just at his neckline. So I'm just kind of letting him know I could have killed you. Because we don't actually know what's going on, so I'm not going to kill him.
So the sword stops just short.
Yeah, so it just nicks the shawl that's like covering him. I imagine.
Yeah, it just like short. So he doesn't have a shawl. He has like this very tightly fitted helmet, and the sword, as it touches his neck, it blazes with light, and his face starts to melt.
Oh, a much worse result than having yourself cut.
And his face melts away like wax. And you see that beneath the face is...
a chin.
No. There is... the face maybe was wax, and the creature within it is more like a some kind of crab made of this dark chitin. It has eyes and tendrils which were sort of operating the face. Mm-hmm. And it says, "That was very uncivil.
Oh.
Why are you like this?"
Hold on. You came at me.
I was trying to get you to give me the sword. We need the sword.
What for?
It's
fine. We'll have a bit of a plot conversation. Go. Fine. If this is destined to happen, I won't fight it any longer.
You literally could continue to fight it, but this weird creature says it was made to harm our people.
Yeah, but why did you choose such a spooky fake face? Oh wait, am I talking?
I thought it would be more less scary to you than our appearance. To be fair, they do look quite horrifying. They're like faces now, mostly legs.
Listen, mate, I'm from the drift. Yeah, I know your kind. Look, I'm going to take out one of my oysters, a peace offering, and offer him some of my bag of oysters.
Like 3 limbs protrude and like suck the oyster up.
Hey.
Delicious. We have not eaten food from this realm for so long.
There you go.
We have been so hungry. Please,
go.
The weapon you bear was made to harm us. And we wish no ill will. None at all.
I mean, you say that, but again, you have just ridden up and spookily asked us for this sword. So
manners have clearly changed.
Yeah, okay, right, fine.
It used to be a very polite way to ask for a sword.
Well, yeah, now it's a little bit sketchy.
These days.
Yeah. Okay, look, we've got off on the wrong foot. I think we're going to have let's have a little sit down and a little chat, because quite frankly, I'm not really sure where we are or what we're doing here. So it is a little bit disorientating.
He says, "You don't know where you are? You're on the plane."
Yeah, I know that much. I'm going to wink at these two. No, I don't. I'm blagging it.
Le Vietnam?
Yeah, obviously.
You don't know where you are.
No, we are here. We're just trying to play Find My Skeleton. If you know where the skeleton is, then that's our ticket out of here.
The creature's carve looking across the three of you. It carve tilts its carapace that may be ahead and says, "How many directions are there?"
Well, 4, 6, if you count up and down.
So,
Recipes. Instructions for flat pack. Rules.
Oh,
Got 3.
yeah, 3 or 6.
Why do you want to know?
your world has lost so much. We did not realize.
Or did we have more directions in the past?
Of course. You could always go greenward or skyward or seaward or deepward.
I mean, you
The
probably
8
still can if you
directions.
try hard enough.
Yeah,
North,
we still
south,
can do
east,
those.
west.
That's
Oh,
all.
Skyward,
Yeah, also
seaward, deepward,
covered.
greenward.
I think he was including northeast, southeast, northwest. So technically a lot
maybe.
more than I said. Yeah. My bad.
He says, you could always get here, as we could always get to your north or your south. Before
What the hell are you on about? And what do you want?
we want the sword. The sword
Right,
is
well-
important to our people. We can
Yeah,
keep
but
it
we-
safe.
Yeah, but if we take this back, we're going to win a few more points. We probably won't get kicked off the show. So we've
Yeah,
both
I mean-
got a lot riding on this, you know?
We won this in a game show, so
Yeah,
you know.
it is
You know-
technically ours.
What is this game show of which you speak?
Fantasy Castle.
That's words. It doesn't. I know what a castle is. I've heard of fantasy. I do not know what.
There you go. Smash them together, and it's a match made in heaven.
So,
Do you know what a
like
game
you-
show is?
no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Have you heard of the demon?
Is it a theatre? Something to do with a theatre or some kind of bardic rite or something?
Yeah, sure, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
For the olden days. I'm going to nudge up.
No. So you're
Do you-
in a play and now you are on the plane. And
Do you know what a song is?
yes, we have
Well, you know how
songs.
sometimes songs have names?
Yes,
Same deal.
I see. So you're in a song.
This is a game show. It's got a name.
You're in a song.
Fantasy
and you-
Castle's a name.
I've got.
I know. We've got the name thing. Yes.
Okay.
What I'm really getting at is why do you hold the pyre blade in the plane now, and may we have it as you've brought it here, and it would save us a lot of trouble.
You've told us you're good guys, but we haven't got a lot to base whether you're telling the truth or not. So I don't think we can give it to you right now because you could be bad guys pretending to be good guys. You
Yeah,
see
I-
the
question.
predicament?
And to be
How do
clear,
you-
without the face, these do look extremely horror movie monster. Like they are
Yeah.
quite creepy looking things.
Something.
How
with
did
a
you come to lose the blade?
Good question.
It is not that we lost it. It is that it was created to harm us. And
Come on, be a bit
it
more
was
forthcoming
created
with
to
this.
harm us by the wild folk and by the gods of the human range. They work together. The smith and the builder and the sage. And they sought to harm us with it, to destroy our people.
Why is that then?
That's not really important. It was a long time ago They
feels like you're kind of trying to make us not. Now I want to know more. Is what I'm trying to say. You've piqued my interest.
we got blamed for a crime which we definitely didn't do. And
do you have an alphabet in your world? And do you sometimes get together and form groups or teams?
I do not believe that.
Arkwise, we'll explain it to you later.
I do not believe that a team named for the start of the alphabet would have great success.
Well, let me tell you, son.
What was this crime you got accused of?
We stole the heart of a god, according to them. But we really did.
He did.
Stole it. Listen, it's a complicated. We are talking about things that happened thousands of years ago that really no one here. Who can say who was to blame?
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
He's definitely guilty.
It's largely forgotten. It has been, but we were pursued throughout the realms for it for a very long time. But we're back now, and that's what matters. And now there's this horrible sword that only causes harm.
Most of them do.
That is the thing about swords. Yeah.
Big thing about swords, yes, but that one specifically is really designed to hurt us. And we'd rather, honestly, it would be better if we just got rid of it. Because it's...
I have a question.
What do you wish, little dwarven character?
If you wore trousers, how would you wear trousers?
We do wear trousers. We just pack a lot of legs into each leg of the trouser.
Okay, continue.
That is often part of our human guise, when that is what we require. Now, as I was saying, this weapon can only harm us, so we know that if it is taken away, it will cause us harm.
Has it been missing, out of interest?
We have not heard of it since we left. Since we had to fly this realm.
Okay, how did you know we were here? I'm assuming as soon as we appeared, you were summoned or some such.
We heard the sword appeared. We have been watching.
Right, but we've literally just appeared. Were you just over there? Or...
Oh, we just came plainward when... We just came greenward.
Yeah, okay, that makes
sense. From the deep.
Look, I don't know how we're going to resolve this because we kind of want to keep the sword and we're not going to use it to harm you. So, but what I am thinking is if we can replicate this sword, we'll keep this sword and not hand it over when it comes to the end of the games. How's that? Then we'll keep hold of it.
Would you promise?
I mean, we also don't know anything about these guys, right?
Yeah. So also true.
Like, if I could only be killed by a particular bullet in the world and somebody turned up with that bullet and they gave it to me, then I could do whatever the hell I wanted, couldn't I? Because I'd have the bullet.
Yeah.
Your friend does speak sense, and I can see why you might listen to him. However, allow me to beseech you not to, because many things can harm us. We are so small and feeble.
Right,
and
so...
Why are you worried about the sword?
Yeah, my question. Thank you. Good point, Arkwise. You're handling this whole crazy magical monsters thing extremely well there, Arkwise, by the way.
Well, I assume it's part of the game.
Oh, yeah, it must be. It's not. I'm talking to Rogue.
They're really good costumes. Yeah, genuinely impressed by the animatronics on the face legs.
The creature says, this weapon, when it strikes our folk, it creates a kind of contagion which burns through us at a terrible rate. We are It is not a mere weapon. It is a weapon created specifically to harm us and our gods.
I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty glad I didn't strike you down as I intended now, because, you know, that I'd have felt pretty bad about that.
It kind of nods. It's like, not as bad as we would have felt as we dissolved before your eyes. Suffice to
That's
say.
true. I'll punch him on the shoulder. I'll extend my Mr. Tickle arm so I can punch him on the shoulder.
But like in lots of different ones so that you can get all his shoulders.
Yeah.
like
Just basically punching him in the face.
Like Chun-Li.
like high fives you, but with a different leg for every finger.
Yeah, nice.
What's your name?
Oh, Brad Muscles. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thanks, Brad. Yeah.
It,
you know how, like,
it says-
sometimes you work up a friendship and then you kind of forget, and then it's too embarrassing to ask, and you don't really know when to drop it in.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
it just says, we are 7th Quorum 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Should have guessed.
Yeah, I did know that. I just forgot.
Do we call you what, like Sven for short or something?
Ooh, good
That is
name.
fine, yes. That
Let's
suits us
call you
well.
Sven, right? So Sven, this is the Pyre Blade, right?
It is named that, yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of any of these three things? The Axe of Isoverfell, the Bright Halo, and the Flute of Newt.
It says, the Flute of Newt. That name is famous among the wild folk. It was beloved of them at one time. The others
Well,
sound
what does
like
that do?
nonsense. Oh, we were seldom invited to their celebrations, but if I recall correctly, it sounded really great.
Oh.
Delightful
Well, that's
tone,
useful to know.
quite easy to play.
What other items did we get? So we have the flute. We could play the flute for them now and see if it does anything.
I mean, we could do, but what if it destroys all the wild folk and these guys don't like the wild folk or something?
Well, win-win.
We have
Well,
little.
only if they're our friends. Like,
Well, yeah, true.
The wild folk do not like us. They consider us monstrosities and aberrations upon the face of the world, and desire to see us exterminated. It's a little awkward.
And the wild folk work with the humans, of which I am, and Anders here is, but Arkwise
The
is
wild
not.
folk have been in our pursuit for centuries.
You're not a human.
Armadillo.
You're an armadillo, exactly.
Revelations for Arkwise as she
Yeah.
discovers that
What
the
the
rest
heck?
of the team don't think she's human.
You know, this is my armor, yeah? I mean, I'm quite armadillo-y, but
Wait, are you a human just in an armadillo costume?
woohoo!
What the heck? I thought you were an armadillo person.
Man, you are so easily
Wait.
fooled.
Oh,
Sven,
right, yeah, you good. You are an armadillo person. Okay.
Sven is looking between you with. You can't. You know,
What?
this isn't a face that carries expression, so you can't tell if they're confused. But they seem a little confused.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm pretty confused because I assumed she was an armadillo person. You are.
You can continue to believe that if you wish.
No, because does it look like she's wearing armadillo armor, or does she have the
it's like
face of an armadillo?
pangolin. We have established pangolin themed armor.
What the? I thought she was a pangolin.
Yeah, she kind of lent into pangolins, but was not. But it was established from day one, not actually a pangolin.
What the heck? Right, I'm looking at the picture you drew of us. I thought she was an actual pangolin. I thought pangolin people were a thing in this world.
No, but we kind of tottered on that edge and fell on the edge of Arkwise is a weirdo.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
I'll be honest, I've always been thoroughly confused as to why she's a pangolin.
Oh, yeah, she does. I thought she
I
had
did
a
assume
long
it was armor.
snout as well, like an anteater. I didn't know she didn't. Also, I like the fact that most of our chat is pitched to Taylor Swift more than I thought it would be. And then this
loves
very
going
artsy
swimming.
one of Ben. That's amazing.
Just-
That needs to be the new banner for. I'm sending that on.
I'm just an ear.
So good. Right. Okay. Apologies. I thought you were a pangolin with a long nose and ant-eating tongue.
Eating tongue.
No, I don't question what you do with your
Pangolins
tongue or what you eat.
It's like a pangolin power suit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's even weirder then.
That's
What I'm doing
true.
makes absolutely
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah, no, it
I
is
quite
weird,
did
but that is what it
Pangolins
is.
predominantly eat ants. So
Right. So do massive pangolins exist in the world then that you skin for armor or
I think it's more a stylistic inspiration.
right?
Like a
Is she
3D
the only
printed deal.
one? Is she the only one that has this, or is it a thing of like her
Of
people?
like the cutters. I don't.
No,
Alan,
there's like-
Right.
you own the cutters.
Yeah,
There's loads of furries in the world, like
Yeah.
just
yeah.
into
So
pangolins.
occasionally you've got to be a whatever these are. What are
Right.
these like?
I think pangolins are just pangolins. I think they're their own weird corner of mammals which don't really connect to anything else.
6 pangolin facts.
I feel like we've got a little off track.
Yeah,
From,
but in a good way.
Appearance. The most defining characteristic of the pangolin is its armor of scales,
Yeah, I've got to say,
constituting 20% of its body weight.
It was what?
when I was drawing, I was trying to draw Arkwise, you can find these pictures if you're listening or watching on any of our social media feeds. When I was trying to draw Arkwise, I was like, this armour looks quite kind of Southeast Asian. And then later I thought, oh yeah, that's countries where pangolins live. I guess people probably would take more inspiration from them when designing things.
Yeah, especially if they were a pangolin.
Especially if
It's
they were a
weird.
pangolin.
It's weird not to have pangolin armor, is what we're saying here.
Once you've seen a pangolin, you're like, that's armour.
You've seen them all.
Once you've seen Arkwise, you've seen every pangolin.
Yeah.
Oh man, the baby
Right,
ones are really
okay.
cute.
So,
Right. Yeah.
Sven-
Let's get back on topic.
yeah,
We've got a flute, we got a sword, and we got a crown.
a halo.
And you said that these, you do or don't know what these do.
We know of the sword. We have heard of the. We have heard of the flute. The round thing, I do not know. It like waves various little legs.
When we're in this plane, does time slow down in the human plane?
No, it is a direction like any other.
Right. Okay. So we've got to be scooting back. How would we do that out of interest?
Just go back to the north or the south or the east or the west, whichever way you came from.
I mean, yep, obviously. Anyone else want to jump in here? I'm at a loss of what to do or say next.
I think we just need to go home somehow, don't we?
I guess I just need to roll another one and we'll go back or something, or
Sven
maybe
says-
roll a 14.
It's like some really weak challenge.
Sven says, so you will wish to retain the weapon. We cannot stop you, though we will warn you that its use will take something from you as well. It is not a kind weapon.
Right. Okay. Such as.
We do not know because we cannot use it, but we know it takes from the bearer as well. It is dangerous.
Does it have a sheath a scabbard? By
Yeah,
the
it's
way?
like in a scabbard right now.
Oh, okay. And is it quite a recognizable handle? Can we actually palm it and keep it and
It is.
hand over another sword?
It is quite it's quite a carved like fancy handle. It's designed
Proper electronics in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I what do you think it looks like actually? Let's take some thoughts from here. This is like this ancient sword designed for assaulting these insectile monster folk.
I think that the handle and cross guards are just plain, ordinary, everyday, normal-looking sword handle and cross guards. Like, you couldn't tell it from any other sword.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, I was going to say it should have been like of their shitting armor.
Yeah, that kind of chitinous look around.
Yeah, as
around
kind of an
the
insult to them.
Got a lot
Yeah.
of legs.
As it's the pyre blade, something sort of flame inspired, maybe like a blue gas flame.
Yeah, I think
Bunsen burner
that's,
flame, you know.
yeah, that makes
With
sense.
a carved ruby in the hilt that's kind of
Yeah.
carved into a flaming ember. So we're making it easy for ourselves. Arkwise, do you reckon you could knock something up that looks a little bit like this? And I'll stick the sword in her face. Just the hilt, of course.
Yeah.
Basically,
Does it
it
need
probably
to do
looks
anything?
like when somebody turns up to a convention having like made a World of Warcraft like epic two-handed sword out of
Yeah.
foam, and it just looks slightly ridiculous and oversized and too cartoony to be real.
Yeah.
Then it probably looks like that.
Perfect. Now, if we can knock one of those up.
Yeah, the challenge arc-wise is you're in a grassy plain. There isn't a workbench anywhere in sight.
And, in general, I can make things at work. I don't know how good I am at aesthetically copying things, but I'll have a go at it with grass. What else is there? There must be some things that aren't grass.
You can see
Sticks?
there are distant trees. You've got whatever materials you're carrying.
Oh, I've got this sword. It's like oversized and it's got like a ruby for a handle. I'm gonna make it from that.
I don't see that in your. In
Hey,
fact,
quick,
it
write it
looks
in
like
now
you're
while you
out of components as well. So you're not even
Goddamn.
carrying bits and bobs.
All right, Sven, do you have any swords you can lend us for a while?
It kind of looks around at its companions, and there are some weapons on their like tied to their giant bug mounts. They kind of look around. So I'm just going to roll a dice. If this is that's a 6, which is unfortunately
No.
not what they don't have anything that looks swordy. They have like spears on their mounts. You could maybe start from that.
That'll do.
Well, we can
Yes.
just take it back with us, though, can't we? Like,
Yeah,
It just
Yeah,
not
that's
give
true.
it to them.
yeah. I can have a little
I
investigate
don't see there
of this place.
repercussions.
yeah, sure. Let's see an investigator place roll.
Well,
I've learned a fact about
Oh,
Pangolins.
that's very good. So what do you want to know? What are your questions?
what is the best way, in, out, or through?
So
Out, specifically.
yeah. So, having heard it referred to as a direction, it's like, you start to feel almost like, not like a magical direction, like not in your human senses. You actually feel like you could probably do more here. You feel like you can maybe reach more of the world than just probability. And so you can feel like there's a direction that you could go that would take you back, but it's a magical direction. You'd have to track into it.
Okay, then my next question will be... I'm pretty sure there's a what here is magical option I can
There
add
is
to
touched by the
investigate.
arcane.
Touched by the arcane. I can't see what it's on here. Yeah. You can add what here is magical and what magic has been performed here to the standard list. So, yeah, what here is magical.
Yeah, so the sword is magical, Brad is magical. The creatures that face you, they aren't magical, but there is something about them. There's like a little magic to them. it feels very like the sense you had of the broken.
Okay.
That feels related.
And is the realm itself magical, or is it?
The realm itself is mildly magical.
Okay.
In fact, it's almost like you are... It's weird because it feels mildly magical, but it is also highly magical. It's almost like magic is inverted here. So, like, it doesn't feel magical, but you know it is. In a way where in the regular world, it isn't magical, and stuff that is magical feels really magical. Here, stuff that isn't magical feels almost like it should be normal.
And what is hidden here?
As you look around, you see that around the creature's feet, around the feet of their mounts, are lots of little small bugs. And that are of that same kind of make as these creatures are. And as you look at those more closely, examine them carve with your magical sense, you can feel that these are more redolent of the broken. That entity is here in the form of these bugs. And that makes you feel like it's not coincidence that Sven came here. You think that this was maybe brought, maybe arranged.
And remind me briefly, the broken...
The broken is the entity that found you in Washport and asked to travel with you.
That's the dude that's surrounding me.
Yeah. And you feel like it has kind of more physical manifestation here.
Okay. And these bug things seem to be associated with that.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just interject and say, what was my connection to the broken?
You, the stag-antlered man that you met in your dreams, the shining one there.
Yeah, the man of my dreams.
Yeah, it's been his people have been hunting it, and they told you to watch out for it and showed you what they said was the broken as a kind of sea urchin cathedral existing out in space somewhere behind the moon.
So isn't it that loosely you were coming down on the wild folk side of the coin, and I was coming down on the broken side of the coin? Rather awkwardly.
Who knows who's right or wrong here, but so yes, that is basically you have been warned about them. Fundamentally.
I have been, but Anders hasn't. We'll have a chat at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, so you feel that
the best place. There's no cameras.
Yeah, you are outside camera space, but you are being closely watched by Seventh Quorum 6.
Yeah, but we have a sword that will destroy them with ease. So
yeah,
not super worried about them.
So they are willing to lend you a spear if you want one.
Yeah, I mean, now my only thought was that we could keep the sword rather than giving it back when we got back. We could have given a dummy across, but I don't even know if there's any point doing that now.
Yeah. All right. So they're kind of. So they kind of are still watching, and they say, "You have decided your path?"
Yeah, I think we'll keep the sword. We'll keep it for ourselves. Don't worry. We probably won't see many of you when we go back home, so I won't attack anyone. And then we'll just look into this in a little bit more detail later.
They kind of seem to almost shrink a little, and they're like, "We cannot stop you. Will you bear the pyre blade?"
Yeah, damn right.
And they kind of retreat to their mount, and they slowly turn away.
Oh, I was going to say, if it's any consolation, you'll notice that I didn't actually cut you down, so that probably speaks to my character somewhat. So take heart in that, friend. Ha ha, huzzah!
Yeah.
And I'll raise the sword above my head and say the magic word so the power radiates across the land.
like a burst attack.
Yeah. Like a PBAOE.
As the party kind of look back and say, "We hope you will be kind and use judgment."
Also, what could you give us to make sure we stay on your side? I probably should have asked that earlier. Let's get something out of this. Tit for tat.
Says, "What is it that you wish?
What's your best thing that you've got?" Yeah, I'm just seeing, suss out.
Carv comes back a little and says, "We could tell you something of the one you serve."
That sounds good.
Yeah, but also, what do you mean by that? Who do we serve?
Yes.
King guy.
You serve one of the great lords of the world folk. Do you not?
Who's he talking to directly?
You
here?
specifically, Brad.
Oh, okay. I guess so. How can you tell? Firstly,
Says, you radiate the power of the wild folk.
Right. Okay. Cool.
You bear his mark on your brow for those with the eyes to see it.
No, I was unaware of that. Or was I?
No one's ever mentioned this to you.
Okay. Right. Okay. Continue. This is all good information.
It says, so item 1, you now know what kind of entity is the other, which is one of the fields on your character sheet. One of the things that, as the gifted, when you know these 4 pieces of information, you can start to use that.
I mean, where would that be then?
Literally just under harm. You have the other.
Take this bloody website.
It's so good. Can't believe that you're still grumping about it when I fixed at least 3 or 4 bugs.
Okay.
And then gave us a whole load more bugs to fight.
Under harm, I've
made your
got
own problem there.
Sting beasts and cut.
Yep, and keep going down.
The other, what does the other grant you? What does the other want? What kind of entity? Okay, what has he just answered?
He's just told you what kind of entity the other is.
And
which is a lord of the wild folk.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
so what does the other want out of interest? Let's just bash these out quick, smart. No.
It says, I cannot know what he wants from you, but you bear the mark of the Stag King, the forest shadow and light.
And he's a baddie to you, though.
He has He has pursued us relentlessly.
Because you killed his god.
More his sister. But to be clear, we were not responsible for that.
Right. Okay.
We needed to escape. We were in danger.
From the people that I apparently serve.
And from the gods of the human range.
Okay.
They had formed an alliance.
Okay. Anders, you looked like you had a question before I asked mine. Also, I was kind of hoping for like a physical thing, but this is information's just as good.
I don't know that I did have a question, to be honest, Brad.
Yeah, okay, right, okay. I thought you were going to say something, so...
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I was.
I say, sorry, I was just looking at some other names on my list of names and amusing myself. They say, yes, there was one who belonged to the ocean, and her heart gave us a path to escape. We were given it. It was a gift. We did not steal it. It was never stolen. The whole thing was a misunderstanding. Anyway.
I mean, we obviously have to ask who gave you it then.
There's her name was the Penitent.
Yeah, Anders, write that down.
She said she would remake the world, but instead she brought ruin on our peoples.
Phew. Shoddy workmanship these days.
We were disappointed as well. I say, anyway, if you bear the sword, it remains a danger to us. I shall report this news to our folk. If we find an offer, we shall seek for this fantasy castle of yours. This is a place in the human lands now?
Yeah, but maybe let us find you. If you got a way for us to get back here, like a little pendant or a spell or something we could use.
Just travel greenward.
Yeah, okay. Very helpful. Thank you.
We'll see you soon in that case.
Says if you bear the mark of the Stag King, these directions should be open to you.
That's something I'll look into then. How's that? Also, how would I go about looking into how to activate my Stag King powers? That would be quite helpful as well.
Says the Stag King doesn't really care for us, so I can't tell you any details of like its mysteries or whatever. It is, but you are very blessed. Many of the wild folk have barely seen their leaders, the ones that you would call their gods. So if they interact with you, then they see great value in you. I hope that it will be for all of our good.
They must have watched when I won the last season of Find My Skeleton then. Probably impressed them with some of my skills.
They're like, forgive me, for we have only an exoskeletons, but why is it difficult to find your skeleton?
Oh, that's the secret to the game, let me tell you. I'm not giving those secrets away easily. That's for me and my teammates. Team Alpha, the A team. And then we're going to go over in a Jeep.
And yeah, so I think Sven bids you farewell and climbs onto their mount and catches up with their companions, leaving you out on this plain.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What did you do to bring us here, Brad? Can you remember what it was you were doing at the time?
I think I was trying to find out I was looking at the sword, and I'll give him a wink and kind of do a little like magic.
Do you want to have a look at the sword again?
Good idea. Good idea. I'll see if I can suss out what. Let's hope we don't go further down to another realm this time.
So, are you going to use power here to find your way back?
Yeah. I guess if that's the thing I can do. Use power. It is a thing I can do. When you use power to make a small change to the world, you'll manifest exactly as you will it. Your power manifests, but not quite exactly how you wanted it. Okay. So roll heart. Boom. Let's see if we're going down another level.
Getting a 1 again.
It's an intermediate success.
It didn't show me the result on the little rolling.
You have to scroll down.
No, on the little rolling
Oh,
box.
did it not? Maybe you had scrolled down because I think it stays in place at the top.
I'm just going to roll it again so I can see it then.
Sure.
Right, use power, roll plus heart.
Yep, if you click
No,
that.
it's a tiny little box that says advantage +1. It says 1 and a 5, but it doesn't tally the results.
It says result 6 and then 1 and 5 next to it.
But it doesn't say that on the little pop-up.
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I got a 9. I'll take the 9. Discard the 7.
Yeah. The 6 was literally just testing. We'll take it.
Yeah, it was indeed.
On a 7 to 9, your power manifests, but not quite exactly as you want it to. You can feel the route back. You can feel exactly what you need to do.
So I'm going to go a bit Sam Beckett.
So do you just follow that lead?
Yeah, I'll see what the route back feels like.
Yeah,
I'll pull that thread.
So you start heading down it. Do you bring the others with you?
No. End of the podcast.
Well, I'd just go behind the curtain or whatever and go backstage. It's cool.
Yeah, so I love that. That was in the last campaign. So I love that Stu immediately froze up.
Stu. Yeah.
So Brad vanishes. What do you do, Anders?
Well, here we are in the grass, I suppose.
Oh, you're just going to look really weird on OBS for a moment.
I don't know. Maybe let's go this way. Did you say before when I was investigating the place that I could sense that there was a magical path?
You can sense the direction as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I will attempt to follow it, I suppose.
Nice. Okay, so let's have a chance to see your power rolled.
What's this going to be? Is this like a minor working?
Yeah, this is a minor working.
I didn't just get super icy and disappear then. My laptop died despite the fact it has full power.
Oh,
It froze you on a weird grin
That's
for quite
nice.
some time.
yeah. You could put your camera back probably.
Oh, I'll use an action point on this as well if I. Or do I? Need
That's
to
a very
declare
good
that
idea.
first?
I'm amazed that everything kept going. That was so weird.
Yeah, take advantage.
Yeah, I am taking them back. That was obviously.
I've
No, what
rolled it
happened
once
was.
already.
Oh
Can
yeah, sorry, I
re-roll
just
that?
saw it. Okay, perfect. So it's a 9.
Can I use advantage afterwards though, or do I have to declare that first?
No, you have to declare
I
it
kind of
first.
forgot. I kind of forgot. Like, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, that's
well.
fair. That's fair.
I guess it's a 9 then.
Yeah, a 9 is fine. That makes perfect sense. So Brad,
Mm.
you walk through and you just take another step down this path and you're in the courtyard of the fantasy castle. And Tugs Gernard is just walking across one of the corners and looks at you absolutely baffled. He's staring at you. He's 50 yards away or something, but he's just
I've been here
watching
the whole
you.
time. You were just in a daydream. Didn't
He
even
says-
see me, mate.
He says, nah, because, like, what was that big flash of fire?
I don't know.
There's suddenly a
think
big
someone knocked
rush
one
of
of the-
fire, and there's an arcwise appear beside you in, like, these pillars of flame that then quietly
Whoa!
die
Who's
down.
setting off all these fireworks?
All effects.
Oh, these
Oh,
fireworks
fair
are
play,
going
the
off.
pyro guys they've got on this are cracking.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have words for this. Yeah, well, don't worry.
Come in and see when Togs is there. I'll come in and go. Unless you didn't take the traitor package too, did you?
Never.
Okay, let's Anders, let's have a persuade here. Which is a roll plus charm, and you still have an action point.
will
so
use-
this might be
I'll
a good
use my
point
action
to
point,
use it.
yeah.
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 Oh, yep. So intermediate. So 7 to 9. Mark's stress, and they're like, he's like, listen. He kind of comes over. He's like, comes over like looking blatantly surreptitious, and he's like, I'll keep it quiet if you tell me the truth. Was it one of you who broke my little homunculus?
What? Your homunculus is broken?
That's terrible.
Oh, what the heck?
What's a homunculus?
I don't know, but I
It's
found
like
one
a
of
monkey, but it's quite human.
my homunculus.
Yes,
I had
it was like a little robot monkey thing.
a little tin that was smashed when I came back to my room. It had just been like crushed, as if someone had just smashed it out of spite.
It's like,
Look, listen, if it was you, I'm not mad. Like, we're on opposing teams. But I just want to know what happened to it.
It's like, stop trying to do the thing I'm trying to do back to me. Look, I've got something.
Listen,
I just saw
you're messing
you
with the
appear in a
wrong
pillar
team.
of flame. Seemed
Did you know?
shady-like.
Did you
All I'm
know?
asking is a little honesty.
Right, fine. I smashed it. Is that what you want to hear?
It's
I
like,
smashed it while we were snooping.
he's like, all right, no, I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah, okay, but actually,
A little
also, I
bit-
am actually genuinely sorry because it was making a lot of noise and we didn't mean to smash it. I'm a little heavy-handed. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just extremely strong. So please don't think it was malicious.
Somehow it's still a boast, Bradley. Somehow it's
Right.
still a boast.
Yeah, but when you've got guns like these and I'm going to crack 2 eggs that I've been hiding in my pouch, I don't know why I picked eggs, the easiest thing to break. Watch this. You'll like this. Next, I'm going to bend over and pick a feather up from the ground and be like, you see, I'm a tough guy. Anyway, the
All right.
point is, I'm genuinely sorry, okay?
like-
Can you repair it?
He's like, I can't. I need someone really technical to help with that.
I'm just going to nudge
Oh, we ain't got one of
Arkwise.
them.
Here we go. Come on, Arkwise. You've got to fix it.
It wasn't me though.
No, it was me, but you can also have a little look inside and see how it works, yeah?
Aye.
Yeah, Doyle.
He's like,
How about we fix
I
it?
like.
You keep our secret and don't tell anyone we went to a magical world talking about swords and gods and crab-like wax-faced creatures, yeah?
he's like,
You'll probably have that as your next adventure anyway. So
this
Yeah,
goes
you'll be
a
fine.
lot
Really.
deeper than I thought. They're
Yeah.
really doing the work here. All right, I'll bring it round to your tower later.
Yeah, great. I'll give him a fist bump. Yeah, boy.
Okay, he can't
give
go
it a
in
look
for
over.
that.
Hey!
and while you do it, you have an egg in your hand, so you crush the egg. See?
I'll teach you how to do this little trick later. And I'll just crush it in my hand again.
He's like, you're all right, Brad. I
Yeah.
think I can work that one out.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Turning an enemy into a friend. It never leaves you, son. Never leaves you.
And so, yeah, our heroes have made it back into the regular world, retained the goods, but possibly found some interesting or strange goings on. It definitely seems like something up. It's also, you definitely did appear back in the middle of the courtyard in a pillar of fire. And that will have been on camera, so who knows what that means. I guess we'll find out next time. I have been your host and GM, and it has been a pleasure to run the game for you this evening and be impressed by Brad's ability to crush eggs, pick up feathers.
Is it enough?
Is it enough?
Oh, good.
It's
Right,
Thank you very much for joining us, and catch you
thanks,
next
Kristen.
time.
See
6
you
people
next
are watching
time.
this.
Amazing.
Bye.